Alrighty, spiritual names. What are they? How can we get one? And can we give them to ourselves? No. Short answer, no. Okay, so spiritual names are a wonderful moment in our spiritual path and our journey in our development. And really, from my perspective, and I'm sure anyone who's really looked into it, if you give it to yourself, where did it really come from? Yourself? And as we know, or we can always externalize and say it came from the Akashic records or the divine, or as far away as we can possibly perceive. Is that person still externalizing their perspective? Usually down to a thyroid that's not fully functional as yet. So that's generally what the sign is we've got to fix. Because hey, I would have loved to have called myself super connected, massively tantric sex god, but it's not really who I am. I might aspire to be that, it might be fun, but it's still coming from my mind and my own perception. So ideally it has to come from outside of our own perception to be legit. And from all the people that I've had experiences in chatting and connecting with, and also my own experience, it's been when that name comes along, usually from an external source or through someone who's done some numerology and found it and it came to them, and they can actually have awakened the higher centers so they can perceive the divine, because until this thyroid and then the ajna and crown are awakened, people think they can tap into Akashic records and things, but really they're still tapping into their own perception and imbalances in that perception. So I'd be very careful on who it comes from, and if it resonates, it's not just something that you like, right? I got mine, and there was lots of wisdom, and that was cool. But there's usually a part in there, as in the explanation and the meaning of it, that really you don't like, because that's the lowest in your vibration. So we can all love the high fancy vibrational fluffy stuff. That's cool. There's often a little bit of spiritual wankiness in there as well, isn't there? And we like that too, because it's pleasurable and fun. But there's a low point as well that's really going to resonate with your entire vibration. So for me, that was humility. Alright? It's not my favorite. How can you mix high vibrational awesomeness with humble humility? Constantly working on that one. It's going okay, I guess. So also a couple of other things as well. So another couple of examples is what happens if we like something like rainbow coloured unicorn or prancing horse, but really our parts that we have to work on and more of our whole soul and our whole system is more like strong running bear. It's going to be a big difference and disconnect, and if our mind or our ego or our psyche attaches to prancing horse or unicorn and rainbows, when really our essence is more running bear, then we're going to go off an entirely different path based on that. And like, my name is running bear. No, oh, hang on, what? So it's got to come from outside, and quite often it doesn't. Like, it resonates, but then there's part of it that doesn't. Another example is, hey, because this is a long-term decision, it's your soul and the whole lifetime and path, and we can attach a lot of things to this spiritual name. What happens if, when we were 21 and we were, off traveling through Europe or on holidays, getting drunk and having a great time, and we decided to get a tattoo? Yeah, one of those like Chinese or Japanese writing tattoos that were a trend a long time ago. That's a permanent decision. And you might have been in a different frame of mind and a different perspective than you would be 5, 10, 15, 50 years ahead. But you've branded yourself, essentially with a tattoo or possibly body graffiti, with having a good time. Different person, totally different. So, if you have been given a spiritual name by possibly an untrusted source, or given it to yourself, feel free to have a look into it again and try to stay open to the possibility of it coming from somewhere else, because it may not have come through yet. So, Spiritual names. Perspective. Can we perceive the divine? Can we perceive our own? Interesting one, huh? Yeah.